Hello. I hope everyone is having a wonderful weekend. I'm here crafting for an event. So it's my second time today that if you're a follower, you will have seen me crafting. And I'm really excited. This is the first time I'm participating in something like this through the Crafting Network, and the Crafting Community. It's got another C and I can't think of it right now, but it's in my description. So go check that because there is some fun stuff happening. So it's 2 days of crafting, and I probably will repeat this once I see that I am shared into the group because we are streaming and I think we are there now. So hello everyone and welcome. My name's Luana. I'm with Little Sister Chalks and I'm a Chalk Couture independent designer. So I'm here crafting for my second time today. If you're a follower, you will have seen a craft this morning as well. I am part of the Harvest Hootenanny, being hosted by the Crafting Network and the Crafting Community, and I'm missing the name again. So check my description because the information will be there. There is a $50 Amazon gift card giveaway, so make sure that you fill out the form for that. You can enter your name with each crafter that's going to be crafting over these next 2 days, but your name I think only goes in once. But great opportunity to win something and maybe buy some things that you can use to craft. So make sure that you join the Crafting Network as well because that is a requirement. And I'll mention this again at the end so that we don't miss anything. I'm going to watch for comments as well. And let me just tell you a little bit about what I'm going to do today. I'm going to make a door hanger and using Chalk Couture supplies as well as some things I picked up at the dollar store and different craft stores. So I've got a hoop wreath, I've got a stencil, I've got chalk paste, I've got fabric scraps, I've got jute, I've got my handy dandy hot glue and hot glue gun. I have a love-hate relationship with the hot glue gun. We'll see if it cooperates with me today. And then I've got a variety of other, tools that I'm sure you have laying around. So if you would like the supply list when we're done. Hey Jen, thanks so much for sharing me into the group. I'm so excited. Like I was saying, if you want the supply list when we're done, just put supplies in the comments and I will shoot that over to you as well. So I'm going to tilt you down and we're going to just get started. There we go. So that looks pretty good. Move these out of my way. All right, I'm going to start with just a little ornament. I got this at the Dollar Tree, just a little pumpkin. We're going to paint it with some folk art cottage white, so it's a little ivory, a little off-white. I just shook that up a little bit. And of course, I am infamous for sticking my fingers in chalk, paste, paint, whatever I can find. So I'm sure I will do that at some point today. All right, we're just gonna paint this real quick. Where is my camera? There it is. And I like these little foam brushes. You can use a paintbrush, you can use whatever you'd like, actually. So just do a quick coat. And I already have it on my fingers. I knew it. I guess it's hard when you're holding a little piece like that. Grab a paper towel and do a quick coat on each side. So let me dry this with my drying tool. It's scooting away on me. Put a quick coat on the other side. Maybe if I grab it up here by the little stem, it'll be a little bit better. Maybe not. All right. So this chalk paint dries pretty quickly, which is nice. All right, so let me set that aside. I'm just gonna set this guy over here to dry. And while we're waiting for that to dry, I also want to attach a little leaf to my pumpkin. And this is something, oh, all right, I'm gonna have to clean my fingers. We're not even 5 minutes in, I don't think. And I've got a mess going already. All right, just do a quick wipe here. I had seen this on a reel, and someone used this silicone mold to make little embellishments with hot glue. So we're just going to fill the little molds with hot glue and make wonderful little leaves. So the trick I have found is to really take your time and make sure all the crevices are filled in. And I do have one ready if we run out of time. I'm just gonna do a couple. So we just fill the molds with hot glue. These dry pretty quick because they're small. I've played around with some bigger ones, and those take a little bit longer to dry. So hopefully you can see I'm just filling. Need another glue stick. I'm just filling in these little molds with hot glue. All right, I'm going to, well, I've got this out. I think I have a pumpkin that I did finish. So let's set that aside and let's finish this guy. So he's already painted on both sides. I have got some Dixie Belle Voodoo Stain in tobacco, and I'm just going to give it an itty bitty little hint of the stain to give it some depth. Use a lint-free rag or a sponge. Hello, Edith. Hello, Crafty Peep. I think Tammy maybe, but might be your name. Thanks for joining me. I am so excited to be here. I hope you've been able to catch the other crafters that have been doing wonderful things today. So much fun. So I'm just gonna hit the edges, the bottom. I've just got to eat it, you know, just a little bit. Always start with less because you can't take it away, but you can always add more if you want it. And that's plenty for me, just to give it a little bit of depth and color. So let me close that before I spill it. And we can get this out of our way. So I wanted to do this since I have the hot glue already going. Oh, actually I still need it after that, but that's okay. And I'm going to thread this through now, because I'm going to glue that little leaf on. I'm not going to tie it yet, so we'll come back to that. All right, so I just want to hit the back of this little guy with some hot glue. And I just stuck my finger in it, so hopefully it's enough to stay on. Okay, so he's so cute and so ready. So I'm going to set this aside because, like I said, we'll use this at the end. How are we doing on these guys? All right, here we go. So the hot glue was, I put that in there, and boop, we have little leaves. They're not quite dry. I'm gonna leave the other ones in there. They're not completely dry. But isn't that fun? So fun, easy, no mess. Love it. Hey, Lisa. Okay, Tammy. I'm glad I got your name right. It's always a good thing. All right, so let's move on to our next step. So I am going to grab my hoop wreath. So this is a Chalk Couture surface, and it comes in 3 parts. You can use 1, 2, or all 3. Totally up to you. Today we're going to use 2 pieces of it. Just take that apart. And then you can buy replacement pieces for this. So you can chalk for a season or a holiday and then pop them off and switch them out. So this is the piece we're going to use, but not yet. And then this piece also comes off. So you can see you can use the hoop just as it is. You cover up the little screws. You can use both pieces of the wood and do whatever you want with it, which is awesome. Actually, I should not have taken this off yet. All right, and I always struggle with this thing. I know it's not hard, but there's days. Okay, I want to mark on the back here where the wood doesn't cover, well, where the wood covers, because that's, I'm going to put the jute around the top here. So I don't want to interfere with putting this piece back on. So I'm going to mark here, and I'm going to mark here, and then I'm going to slide this guy back off. Just wrap that around. Okay, so now we're ready for the next step. Let me get that out of my way now. And I've got jute. And I don't know exactly how much I need, so I'm just gonna grab a bunch, and hopefully it's enough. And we're going to, hopefully that's enough. So just cut that off. I'm going to start at the back, so let me just grab the hot glue and put just a little dab of hot glue, and all right, give that just a second to take hold, and then I'm going to start wrapping. So, is it going to stay? Hopefully. As I wrap, because I'll have to go back and get the edge, it's coming apart. As I wrap the jute, let me just tell you a little bit about me. So I joined Chalk Couture 5 years ago in October of 2019, so right before the pandemic. And my goal was to have classes and teach, and then the pandemic hit, so that did not happen the way I was hoping it would. But I have enjoyed it. I've gotten a booth space at a local store that there's probably, I don't know, 100 or so of us in there, so I put my finished goods in, and I've tried to do classes here and there, but you know, my original intent was to really focus there. But I love that I've found a crafting community, and I love this group as well. People freely share their ideas and inspiration, which is just so awesome. And I love that Chalk Couture can be used with so many different things. And you don't have to do the designs the way they're made. You can use your own creativity and inspiration and just make whatever you want. And it's so awesome. So I started because a friend of mine was redoing furniture, and she was using chalk stencils and chalk paste to put designs on her furniture. And I've always loved like crafty things, doing things with my hands. So I asked her what she was doing, and she shared chalk with me, and I'm so happy she did. I was missing that craftiness in my life. I used to take ceramics classes with my sister, and then colored pencil drawing classes with both of my daughters, and I had kind of gotten away from it. So when I saw that and I saw how easy it was, I jumped in before even trying it. I didn't get a sample, I didn't get a try me kit, none of that. I just jumped in both feet, and there we go. So if you are interested in a sample, I have those available. Just drop sample in the comments, and I will get you a link on how to request one of those. If you'd like a try me kit, so that's a stencil, a surface, and chalk paste, which the sample is as well, but it's small. The try me kit is usually a little bit bigger of a project. We have two available right now. One is a bee. I don't remember what it says. And one is a Halloween kit, I believe. So those are always fun. And also, I wanted to shout out my Perks members. So a few months ago, maybe now, Chalk Couture came out with the Perks membership, and Perks members can shop for 30% off every time they shop, which is awesome. And then you get access to a private Facebook group. It's called the Design Studio, and designers are in there, other Perks members are in there. And again, it's kind of like this group, just so freely sharing of ideas and techniques, and it's a wonderful place to be. So shout out to those Perks members. Oh, I love you all. All right, we are getting there. Hopefully I have enough of this cut. Otherwise I'll have to piece it together, I guess. All right, keep wrapping. I feel like Dory, was that her name? Keep on swimming, keep on swimming, keep on wrapping, keep going, don't give up. All right, we're getting there. I wish there was an easier way to do this. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm just wrapping, pretty tightly. Oh good, I will have enough, which is awesome. So I go live every Saturday morning on my page, which is where I am right now. And I like to do quick and easy crafts, so being live for an hour is a little intimidating. Hopefully I've got enough to keep us busy for an hour, because that was one of our commitments, that we wouldn't end early. So bear with me, guys. Ask any questions that you might have. I'd be happy to answer them. We're coming to the end, and then we can move on to the next step. I'm going to do... That's probably good. So let me just glue down. I'm glad that my hot glue gun is cooperating with me today. Usually we fight. All right, that looks okay. Let me snip the extra here. There we go. Oh, good, I had more than enough. And then this guy, I'm gonna just come back and glue again because he's kind of sticking up. Just press that down, hold it for a second. I think that'll be okay. All right, let me shut this off before I burn myself for real. All right, so the jute is on the top. Hopefully I didn't mess that up. Oh goodness, you're popping off too? Glad I saw that before this glue got cold. All right. And I've got glue all over my fingers. All right, like I said, hopefully I did that right. We'll see when we put things together what happens. The next step I'm going to do so that it has plenty of time to dry and I don't stick my fingers in it is chalk the design onto this piece of chipwood. I'm just making sure I do it right, so you put that in and then slide it down. So this is the right way. Okay, this is welcome to the poolside, or the lakeside, or the riverside. I liked the welcome in that it looks a little chalky, a little unfinished, a little rustic, so a little harvest hootenanny, I thought. So I am going to peel the stencil off the backer. Sometimes the big ones like to stick to themselves, so let me make sure that doesn't happen. Put that out of the way. Okay, there we go. I did it. Hate to do something so silly while you're live. So now, because our stencils are sticky on the back and have silk screen where the paste goes through, I'm going to take a little bit of the stickiness off. We call this fuzzing, and I'm using our fuzzing cloth, but you can use a towel, you can use your clothes, it doesn't really matter. I don't use my clothes. We have 2 dogs, so I always have dog hair on my clothes, and I would hate for it to get into my stencils. And I don't know where to put this. I'll put it there for now. And then I'm going to do my best to center this. And then I can see there's some little guys that I picked up off the fuzzing cloth, like some fuzzes. And I don't care if it's in the blue part, like the teal part, because that won't hurt anything unless they're big. They could cause bubbles if they're big, but I don't know what got all over this. So I'm just looking for those little pieces to make sure they're not in the silk screen, because they will mess up your design if they are. There's one here. Oh no, that's the wood. And then I'm just going to make sure that there's no bubbles in the silk screen. I'm just going to go along the letters. And then bubbles cause bleeds, so we don't like those. And I've got vanilla chalk paste. Vanilla is one of our fall and vogue colors, they call them. So they're special just for the season. Honestly, I hope this one and espresso for sure. The others are also like beautiful colors that you can use anytime. Ballet slipper, and I forget what the fourth one is, if there's even a fourth one, but I am seriously hoping that Chalk Couture keeps vanilla and espresso around because they are gorgeous. So vanilla is just a little bit off-white, so a little bit ivory like the chalk paint that we used on that pumpkin. And sometimes you just don't want the starkness of bright white, and this is just gorgeous. So I'm definitely hoping that these guys stick around because they are gorgeous colors. And just a little bit warmer than a bright white, which is perfect for fall, and I think it'll be perfect for Christmas. You can see it in the spring for Easter, Valentine's Day. It's really kind of a perfect color, and I hope to goodness that they keep it. So what I'm doing is I'm putting just a little bit of chalk paste on, making sure that the stencil is covered, and then I'm coming back and taking off the excess because you really don't need a whole lot. So you can see I've put some there, and then I'm just going to scrape the excess off and put it back into my jar to be used again. So let me start to peel this. This is fun. This never gets old. You peel from top to bottom or left to right. So I'm going to peel left to right. And you just peel slowly. Slowly lets you go back in case there's a spot that didn't quite go through the mesh, the silk screen. But this looks pretty good. And there we go. Our stencil piece is done. Oh, goodness. All right, then I'm going to set this aside. I will, when we're done, I will go clean that with water. So it washes right off with water. We have what's called a board eraser, which is helpful to cleaning. But you can use a Mr. Clean eraser as well. That's really helpful on the chalkboards in case there's like the ghosting when you take stuff off, but it also helps clean the stencils. So there we go. The piece of wood that goes in the sign is now complete. And then because this is going on a door, and I won't do it today because we don't have enough time, I would seal this, and you could use whatever sealer you like. I have started to use the Dixie Belle Gator Hide. So it will protect and waterproof most things, and you need 2 coats of it. So you'd put on you don't need a thick coat, like a thin coat. Wait at least 2 hours, and then you'd do a second coat. So I'm not going to coat this today. I can go back and do that afterward. Hi, Patty Ann. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So this I'm going to set aside so it can dry, and I'm running out of room to set things aside, but I guess I'll put it over here. All right. Now, oh, let me close up my chalk paste before that dries. What are we ready for next? And like I said, I don't know, an hour might, we might not be filling up an hour here. Okay. Okay. What I'm going to do next is start to attach some fabric. So we have the jute at the top. The sign will go in the center, and then down here I'm going to attach some fabric scraps in fall colors. So let me cut some of that, and then we can chat as we work. So I've got these fabric scraps at, I just cut these. I have some already cut, but I'll just do a few. Jubilee Fabrics, I believe, online. And they're called jelly rolls. So you get a whole bunch of fabric scraps, and they come kind of big pieces. Let me, you can see how long that is. really long. Now, I did one of these very similar for patriotic, so 4th of July, and I left them long, and they looked really cool. I think I did cut them in half lengthwise, though, so that they were skinnier. I am not going to leave them this long for this project. So I'm going to cut them in half first. Or thereabouts. You can see I wrote fabric all over these because my husband also has crafting stuff down here over there. And the other day he asked me for scissors, so I gave him my other ones that are used for other things. He said, "Oh, you have a lot of scissors." And I'm like, "No, these are for fabric. Keep your little hands off." I don't know that he understands. So I put fabric all over. Hello, Coastal Creations. I don't remember your name, but I know you're coming up after me. I'm excited to see what you make. Okay, we are working on a door hanger. So I'm getting ready to just cut these fabric strips now. So I cut them in half, and now I'm going to do in half again lengthwise. So I've got a rotary. This I stole from my husband. And they don't have to be perfect or anything, but just going straight is not a strength of mine. Let's see what happened. Did I do it? Not at the top. Let me just snip this guy. Yeah, the rest of it's pretty good. Not this guy. So like I said, they do not have to be perfect in any way, shape, or form. Perfection is the thief of joy. As long as it's good enough, it is good. All right, and then let me just cut these guys. So I love the variety in these jelly rolls that you can get, because I would never have this much fabric. I'm not a sewer. My mother used to sew, and she taught my sister, I think. I have two sisters. I'm the little sister. That's why I have little sister Chalks. But she taught, I think, my middle sister. I don't know that my oldest ever learned. But she never taught me, and I really wish I would have learned. I guess I could still learn and go take a class. I don't have a sewing machine, but okay. So I've got a bunch of fabric scraps. And I'm just going to lay them out. And then I'm going to grab my hoop wreath. And we're going to start to do, while that's drying, the chalk is drying, and it dries pretty quickly. I just thought I'd start and then finish up. I kind of even like this yellow and green and stuff. So we're going to mix these up. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with an orange. I'm going to fold it in half. And then around the wreath, I'm going to loop it and then come under the hoop through the loop. Hey, I'm rhyming. And then just pull it. So I'm just going to do a couple, I think I might do like 4, and then I've got a little bit of jute cut, so we can add that in. Then I'll attach the sign and then finish up, because it's hard to really tell how much you need until that sign's on here. So I'm just looping, coming back around with the ends through the loop, and then pulling tight. And then you could go back and snip off all these little extra hairy things that are hanging around. Let's add a little bit of color, because I do kind of like this one. Chris, yay. I should have guessed that from the K, but I wasn't sure. Okay, and I'm going to add And then I'm going to be full of fabric threads and jute mess. But that's okay. I think it's going to come out really cute. All right. And then just the same thing with the jute. Put it in half, loop it. This one sometimes is a little harder to pull tight. So I am a summer girl at heart. I went to the hairdresser this morning, came back and prepped things, and then I went out in the pool. And I'm sorry that summer's ending, but I really, really enjoy fall crafting and fall decorating. So at least there's fun stuff to look forward to as the summer comes to an end. What's your favorite season? Are you a fall girl, spring? There's so many good things about all the seasons, but summer really is my favorite. And it went so fast. Or it feels like it went so fast. All right. Who else haven't I used? Just trying to, you don't have to be really obsessive about which things go where, but I like to mix things up. I thought there was an orange little checkered one, but I'm not seeing that. I just don't want to put the same things next to each other. And I'm running out of options, so we'll just do another one of these. I swear there was a little orange. Oh, maybe I didn't cut any. Well, that was silly. So I may go back and change some of these if I didn't cut all of the right fabrics, because there were some cute options. All right, I'm going to attach the sign so that I can see where I can end, and it's all nice and dry. And like I said, I would seal that with gator hide, but you can use any sealer of your choice if you're putting it outside. That way it just protects, there we go, protects the chalk paste from the elements. Now I will say that one year I put a chalk face on my pumpkin. We don't really carve. Never really have. It's too messy for me. But I chalked a face on, and I did not seal it. I left it out there through the elements. So, you know, from October until January, the pumpkin was getting a little sad at that point. But the chalk paste was still fine. Without being sealed, it was in rain and snow and all kinds of things. All right, let us start mixing these guys up again. I think after that we just have a couple more steps to do, and then if there's time I'll show you how I painted that little leaf that went on the pumpkin at the very beginning. I had tried different ways to do it, and I think I've landed on my favorite way, so I will share that with you. I hope you've caught a bunch of crafters today. This is all day again tomorrow. So many wonderful ideas, so many talented people. I am really happy to be part of the group. Don't forget to fill out the form for the $50 Amazon gift card giveaway, because who couldn't use a little bit of extra? Grab one of these. Like I said, you really don't have to worry about which ones you put where. I just don't like to put the same thing next to each other. Do another one of these. I just lost my fuzzing cloth. It's okay. It's all good. And let's see, I haven't used another one of these, so that's a nice one. So yes, this has a couple different parts to it. So we have the hoop that we put the jute on, we have the sign, we have these fabric scraps. I don't want to use that one again. We have the little pumpkin that we started with, which is just a cute little finishing touch. Let's see, is there something else I haven't? This one. This reminds me of a tie or a shirt. My dad had a shirt that looked like this. He wore it a lot. That's sweet. That makes me think of my dad. I miss him. All right, we're almost done with fabric scraps. And I think I have room for one more little piece of jute. We'll end with that. So I did 4 fabrics of jute, 4 fabrics of jute. But you could do all the same fabric. You can do plain. You could do ribbon, lace. You could do really anything. All right. So there we go. That's all done now. And then I will flip you up at the end so you can see the finished product. It's kind of hard to show you on the table. Okay, so that's done. I'm gonna get this out of my way. All right, so let me do this again, actually. So what I want to do is just tie this little guy here so he hangs down. And he picks up the color there, breaks up a little bit of the fabric. Let me see. If I have enough space, I'll just make a little knot. So she says she will make a little knot. There we go. And this is just a little piece of twine that came in the package from the Dollar Tree. So it had, I don't know how many little pumpkins, and then a little twine for each one. They call them ornaments. I don't like it sticking up the top. So we'll see. All right, that's good there. And then we need something to hang it with. So let me just make a little hanger for the top. Oh, I have extra of the jute that we used from before. That looks about enough. So I'm just going to cut a piece of that. And I'm going to make a little knot. All right, big knot. And then, oh goodness, I'm just going to take it and loop it like we did the fabric at the top, and then we can hang it. So I'm going to keep you in suspense on how this looks since we have about 14 minutes left. I'm going to set this over here for now, and I'm going to come back to these guys. So if you missed earlier, I took my hot glue, I had it going anyway, and I just put hot glue in these little silicone molds, and now we have little leaves that we can use to embellish our projects. You can see some of them are a little fuzzy. I didn't take as much time being really careful filling in the spaces. So this one's kind of a half leaf, but these all turned out okay. And when you put them in with other embellishments or with flowers, you can kind of cover up. Like this one isn't perfect either, but they're good enough. So I just want to show you, actually I'm going to pull out the ones I've done so I can show you the difference. And they're not all leaves. I have some flowers as well. So I've made some bigger ones. I was playing around. But let's see, where did I start? I think I started with the leaf I used on the piece we put onto our wreath, and then this flower. So this was just chalk paste in both places, the brown and the yellow. Then I thought, well, maybe if I use white paint first and then chalk paste. So that's what this is. That's what these are. And on these, I just hit it with some gilding wax, gold gilding wax as well. So it kind of gives a little bit of dimension. And then, oh, this one's white. I must have used the other one. I think this one was white as well, underneath. Yeah, well, maybe I used craft glue, or craft paint, not craft glue, green, and then a little bit of brown paste. I didn't like this one quite as much. I think I liked with the white. These guys turned out good, but I also did kind of like the more faded. So that's where I kind of landed, I think. So I'm going to do these leaves with just chalk paste, and I'm not going to worry about putting that away. Hopefully they don't go all over. Let me just grab, let's see, moss and espresso. This was the wonderful espresso I talked about. And then the gilding wax. It's a Dixie Belle. So Chalk Couture and Dixie Belle have collaborated, so that's why I've got some Dixie Belle products. And I'm probably going to get messy, but I'm just going to take a little paintbrush and open up my moss paste. And then I'm just going to take a little bit. Actually, I wonder if I do this, and then maybe they'll stay put and I don't have to get paste all over my fingers. I'm going to take a little bit of painter's tape. And I'm going to lay these guys down. All right, let's try now. So I'm just using paste straight out of the jar, just a little bit, and I'm just gonna, oh, that's good. I don't have to get paste all over my fingers. And I'm just gonna paint it on like I would paint, and I'm going to do the sides because you can probably see the sides when I use them. There we go. Chalk paste dries pretty quickly, but even if I muddy up the waters by mixing colors, I'm okay with that. So let's start with the green, and then I will come back and, okay, tape was a good idea until it started sticking to me. That's probably hard for you guys to see. I don't know if that's any better. Right, and then I'm going to take a little bit of brown, and I'm just going to do more the center and feather it out a little bit. Just a touch, you don't need a lot. This is still kind of wet, but that's all right. We're just going to go with it. One more. And then I did not do this on the other ones, but I'm going to try with these. I'm going to take my gilding wax and open, and I'm just going to use my finger, so let me grab my little wipe because I know I'm going to need that. I'm going to try to bring this up a little bit so you can see. There we go. Alright, I'm just going to take a itty bitty bit of, that's even too much, of gilding wax. A little goes a long way, and I'm just going to kind of hit some of the spots. And this is wet. Let me just do that. Okay, that dried really fast. Do the outsides. Ooh. Can you see that? Kind of like the gilding wax on there. It's kind of fun. And again, you don't need a lot of it. There we go. Those are fun little additions that you can add to projects to give it just a little finishing touch. All right, we have 7 minutes left, and I have our finished project, and I have one that I did in case we didn't finish so that I could show you. So let me bring you back up and get my finger out of the way. Oh boy, my hair's crazy. All right, there we go. So we did almost go the hour. I have like 6 minutes left. I'd be happy to take any questions if you guys have them, but here is, if you can see it, our finished project with all of our fabric scraps hanging down. I wonder if this would help. Maybe. I'm gonna fall off the stool. Hopefully you can see it. I will come back and post a picture of the finished, so you've got it. You can get inspired. I'd love to see if you make one as well. I have one I want to show you too. So this one, I used a retired stencil. So, but it's really cute. Let me just hop off here real quick. And show you this one. So did hello and then the little pumpkin here instead of hanging down here. Although I think maybe picking up this color and something here, a ribbon or something, would probably be smart. So I may change that, but I just wanted to show you this one too. I hope that you've enjoyed this project. I've enjoyed being with you and spending this hour doing something I love. And I'm sure that you guys love it as well because you're here and you're watching. So don't forget, join the crafting network, fill out the form so that you can be entered into the drawing. If you're interested in the supply list, put supplies in the comment and I will send that to you. If you're interested in a sample, I can send you that. I'll send you a link on how to request one of those. So just put sample in a comment. And if you're interested in a Try Me kit, let me know that too. So just comment Try Me. And I hope that you've enjoyed seeing Chalk Couture in action. If you haven't before, I hope you can see that you can use Chalk Couture in a variety of different ways with different crafts. And I really would love to share it with you if you're interested. I'm so glad that you joined me today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sticking with me if you have. It's hard to see if anybody's still watching. An hour's long. It was long for me. I didn't know if I could fill it, and I didn't do too bad. We still have a few minutes. So let me remind you again, I'm Luana with Little Sister Chalks. I do easy crafts, usually upcycle, recycle. I like to focus there, although I do like to use my Chalk Couture supplies as well. I would love it if you enjoyed today's craft, if you would like it, if you would share it, and if you would follow me. I think that would be amazing just to keep in touch, and I can share some other ideas and inspiration with you as well. So again, we have just a few minutes. I don't want to shut off until it's time because I know these sessions are timed. So don't forget, we have a few more today. Chris with Coastal Creations is up next, so go watch what she's going to make. And then there might be another one or two or even three tonight, and then we start again in the morning and go all day tomorrow. So happy crafting. I can't wait to see what you make, and I hope that you enjoy this crafting weekend with the Crafting Network. I'm Luana with Little Sister Chalks. It's been so much fun to be with you and to craft and create, to share an hour of our weekend, and I hope to see you around Little Sister Chalks. It's a fun place, fun community, lots of ideas. If you're a crafter and would like to come on as a guest, I would love to have that as well. So just let me know. I'd love to collaborate, have some fun, and see what we can do together. So with that, we have a minute and a half left, and I'm stretching it out, guys. But I think it's probably safe that the next video has probably been shared. I'm trying to see. I usually get notifications on my phone if they're shared. Didn't see it come through yet. So I'm just going to chatter for maybe 30 more seconds, and then I'm going to sign off and wish you a wonderful weekend. Happy crafting. Stick around the Crafting Network. See what other wonderful things are coming. It's all either fall or Halloween crafts. Don't forget to fill out the form, get entered for the $50 Amazon giveaway, and join the craft networking group, the Craft Network, the Facebook group, so that you can win. I wish you all the luck. Happy crafting. Bye.